Welcome to Stories from the NNI. I'm Lisa Friedersdorf, Director of the National Nanotechnology Coordination Office. Today it's my pleasure to welcome Swadesh Santra, Professor in the NanoScience Technology Center and Director of the Center of Materials Innovation for Sustainable Agriculture at the University of Central Florida. Swadesh, thank you so much for talking to us today. To get us started, can you just tell us a little bit about how you first got involved in nanotechnology?
Sure. First of all, I'm a chemist by training. I did my Ph.D. at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. In graduate school, I studied physical chemistry, and my graduate research was focused on photophysical study of biomedically important compounds having antimicrobial, antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic properties. I received extensive training on fluorescence-based spectroscopy. During my postdoctoral training at the University of Florida, I further strengthened my knowledge in fluorescence spectroscopy and got exposed to different microscopy tools. I also developed skills to design fluorescence-based molecular sensors and probes. Then I realized that to improve the sensitivity of those probes, I need to improve my design. Then I started designing new fluorescent and magnetic based probes, started using nanoparticle technology. I would say that my journey in the field of nanoscience and nanotechnology started back in year 2000.
So you really started right at the dawn of the NNI. And I have to say, I didn't know you were a Gator, so that's an interesting tidbit of information as well.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to hold it against you as a UCF alum myself. So, can you tell us a little bit about your center focused on materials innovation for sustainable agriculture and the work you're doing there?
The UCF MISA Center was established in 2016 when we received an award from USD and NIFA with Center of Excellence recognition. This is an interdisciplinary research center dedicated for developing tools to support agricultural research, education, and extension. MISA organizes annual meetings that bring all stakeholders, including scientists, growers, extension specialists, industries, and funding agencies, and provide a platform to discuss pressing agricultural problems such as Huanglong bean, HLB, also known as citrus greening, and tomato bacterial spot. HLB, in particular, has devastated Florida's $9 billion citrus industry within a decade. There is no robust cure available to date. MISA has established a network of scientists in many parts of USA and in other countries. The MISA education program allows students to learn about the pressing agricultural problems and enable them to think about innovative approaches to solve them.
Can you talk about the importance of collaboration? And you mentioned bringing together growers and folks from the extension services, government agencies.
In the 21st century, we can't even think about solving an important problem in our society without collaboration that engages people from other disciplines. The benefit of interdisciplinary research collaboration is unprecedented. It is always a team-based work that brings together the best creative minds. The product of interdisciplinary research and education has longevity and may contribute significantly to sustainability. Nanotechnology is interdisciplinary by nature, as it evolved only through collaboration. Interdisciplinarity is the core value of nanotechnology and nanotech-enabled solutions.
So I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about a statewide collaboration that you've been involved in for several years. And when I look back at the early days of the NNI, there were a lot of what I would consider top-down regional, state, and local initiatives. And I had the opportunity to lead the one in Virginia, the Virginia Nano Initiative. But in Florida, there's been a grassroots effort and it is centered around the NanoFlorida Conference. Can you talk about how that got started and what it's trying to do?
NanoFlorida is an annual Florida-centric nanoscience and nanotechnology conference that started at UCF in 2008. This event is traditionally run by the student organizing committee, who are primarily associated with the host university. The purpose of this conference is to create a forum for researchers in the state of Florida and beyond for scientific exchange, help identify emerging challenges at the frontiers of nanoscience and nanotechnology, promote closer research ties and networking opportunities within the Florida nanoscience community, foster and encourage collaborative research efforts between academicians from different Florida universities and institutes and beyond, forge strong industry academia partnerships in the field of nanoscience technology to promote market-driven research and innovation in Florida and beyond, encourage and showcase the contributions of young graduate, undergraduate students, and postdocs by creating a student-friendly event where they can present their research among their peers, thereby ensuring a new generation of nanoscientists. I served as the founding faculty member of NanoFlorida Conference. UCF hosted NanoFlorida Conference first 3 years, 2008, 2009, and 2010. Starting 2011, NanoFlorida was hosted by all major research universities: Florida International University, University of South Florida, University of Florida, University of Miami, Florida State University, and Florida Institute of Technology. NanoFlorida returned to UCF in 2016. That was the homecoming year. I served as the faculty advisor to NanoFlorida student organizing body 4 times so far, and I am an active member of NanoFlorida steering committee since its inception. In 2019, we have created an association called the Florida Association for Nanotechnology to facilitate the NanoFlorida conference moving forward. We are thankful to the National Science Foundation for sponsoring NanoFlorida conference in the past 2 years. I'm happy to say that the NSF support has tremendously helped to attract more students participants.
Speaking of the students, I'm wondering, what advice do you have for students that are interested in going into nanotechnology?
Well, my advice to students who are interested in pursuing career in nanotechnology is the following. Be open-minded and collaborative. Learn well the basics of nanoscience and try to understand the origin of nanoscale properties. Spend a great deal of time to understand the high-impact problem. Reach out to experts in the field and end users and get their feedback on how much they would care if you solve this problem. And then only should you go to the drawing board. For the beginners, take every opportunity to expose yourself to this emerging field of nanotechnology, as it will become a part in life in coming decades. Sometimes you will recognize its presence and sometimes you will not, but it will always be there in one form or the other.
So you mentioned how nanotechnology is going to be a part of life in the future. What are your thoughts about the biggest impacts that we're going to see in the coming years?
We have already seen a great impact of nanotechnology in electronic, optoelectronic, medicine, alternative energy sectors. In my opinion, nanotechnology has strong potential to make impact in agriculture, environment, and space research.
First of all, I want to thank you again for taking the time to talk with us and ask if you have any closing thoughts that you would like to share with our listeners.
Nanoscience and nanotechnology is a wonderful interdisciplinary field. One must be open-minded and collaborative to fully exploit the benefit of nanotechnology. Like every technology, nanotechnology will have risks. With good science and sound ethics, you can minimize the risks and maximize the benefits.
Thank you for joining us today for Stories from the NNI. If you would like to learn more about nanotechnology, please visit nano.gov or email us at info@nnco.nano.gov. And check back here for more stories.